Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all well. So this is the last day of tour, we've already had the gig, this is the very end of the night, and I thought it was the best time, whilst we're still at the venue, to show you, talk a little bit about my first impressions on the Headrush Pedalboard, because I've had it on tour with me the whole time, and I thought it was a good chance to show you some of the presets I've made. I'm going to do a full in-depth review of this when I get back, but I thought I'll do a bit of playing, show you how it sounds, and then just talk you through really quickly the presets that I've made and my first impressions. So straight to the point, my first impressions of the Headrush Pedalboard is it's incredibly easy to use. It's like having an iPad built into a pedalboard because it's so straightforward. It's like its own little app that like as you can imagine, like an iPad app, so it's all touchscreen, really straightforward and easy to use, and there's loads of customizability. And I've created sort of two presets that I really enjoy, one for like a heavy riff sort of sound, and then one that's my kind of stereo ambient sound. The beauty of this thing is that, the signal path is completely customizable. You can choose between mono or stereo or wet, dry, wet, or however you want to do it, alongside designing all your own amp tones, impulse responses of your cabs, all the stomp boxes that are built in. Literally every single area is customizable, and that's what makes it so cool. So I guess my first impression is that I am impressed. It's straightforward, easy to use, and I'm going to show you, I've got a GoPro here, show you really quickly on the close-up of the GoPro. You can see how straightforward it is. So this is my sort of ambient patch that I've set up. Now you can see my guitar goes in here. The first thing it hits is like a little bit of a sort of a distortion pedal, like an overdrive, and then the signal splits off to 2 amps. Sort of 2 clean amps. I've got 2 different types of reverb, 2 different types of cab, then it comes back and then back out. All of this is stomp box. You can turn it on and off if you want. I can turn these on and off. I can turn the cabs on and off. I can turn everything in the signal path. I can turn on and off. But the cool thing is, if I, for instance, if I double click, say the amp, I can go in and I can change all this different stuff, all touch screen. If I want to adjust the actual amp itself, I simply just have to go to the side of the screen, essentially. These 3 knobs sort of correlate to what's going on the side. So as you can see, treble, go up and down, bass, and I can sort of tune the amp how I want it to. But I can do that with anything. So if I click the reverb, for example, I can go ahead and change the size of the reverb. And then I can change the decay of it, I can change the color, I can change the mix. And what's beauty about this as well is that I can actually assign the foot pedal here. I can assign that to control any of this stuff if I wanted to, which is absolutely awesome. So I can assign the foot pedal to be in control of the size of the patch. I can, of the reverb, for example, I can have the foot pedal control the decay time, the amount of distortion on an overdrive pedal, the amount of distortion on the amp. It's, like I said, every area of it's customizable, so it really is very impressive. hooked up is that I've got two XLRs coming straight out of it, left and right, into my Universal Audio Apollo Twin Quad. That's going into my MacBook, and that's how I'm capturing the audio. The speech is just a Rode shotgun mic on my camera, so I've got limited gear with me. The way it's laid out is very straightforward, because you've got, for example, if you go back to the close-up cam, you can see, you know, you hold this for a tuner, you've got a looper, you can turn your cab impulses on and off. Everything along here you can assign to be a different parameter. Not only that, you can change the color of it. So let's say this particular overdrive, if I double click it, I can go ahead and change the color. Let's call it pink. And if I go back, you see it's changed the color. So it's the little things like that, the functionality of it, that make it straightforward and enjoyable to use. And because of the touch screen part of the pedal itself, it just means that you've got a visual and an interactive sort of element of the product. So yeah, it's wicked. It really is cool, and it sounds really nice. The way I've got it set up is I'm running like stereo, so I've hard panned the amps either side like I would in sort of my live rig. So the high gain tones that you've heard are 2 amps hard panned, and then the ambient tones are the same as 2 amps and 2 reverb pedals hard panned. So yeah, that's basically my first impressions of the Headrush. I'm going to go into more detail on it when I get back, but I just wanted to give you a first impressions video so that I guess I could share it with you, because I'm quite excited about it and I think it's going to be a fun review to do. But yeah, I'll put links in the description box below. If you like what you hear, definitely go and check them out. I think it's really cool, and it's quite similar to the Helix. Loads of people have asked me about this in terms of the way it looks and that. You know, is it like the Helix? Is it worth the money? I think in a way it's kind of its own thing. It's obviously it's reminiscent of products like that, but they've definitely got their own thing going on with it in terms of its functionality and the interactive element of it, the touchscreen and stuff. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely one to watch out for, and it's way more affordable as well. So you know, if you don't have a massive budget, it's worth picking it up. Anyway, that's my first impressions of the Headrush Pedalboard. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe and share, and I will see you when I'm back off tour.